the 16th, 1746, when the Jacobites, led by Charles Edward Scott, also known as Bonnie Prince Charlie, clashed with King George's troops. 50 of King George's troops died. 2,000 Jacobites were slaughtered in 1 hour. In an hour of fighting, they were defeated, and all attempts to restore the Stuarts to the British throne were vanquished. Culloden was also a last-pitched, large-scale battle fought on British soil, cementing its significance in modern British history, even though it was back in 1746. The finds consist of more than 100 projectiles, which include lead musket balls, cannon shot, all of this that we've never seen before from the battlefield of Culloden. Among them, what is to believe a 3-pound cannonball fired by the Jacobite artillery. The artillery brigade was really taken out in the first moments of this battle. I'll cut the accent. The collection of artifacts not only proves the archaeology from this battle has survived in the area, but the project leaders believe it has provided a lot of evidence for one of the more dramatic episodes in that battle that from beginning to end probably, again, lasted less than an hour. That's what's so significant about the Battle of Culloden. Archaeologists dug trenches, and they made all of these test pits and used metal detectors to find these things. A spokesperson from the NTS is telling the media that experts weren't surprised by the projectiles. Similar items have been found in the past, but this time they were just struck by how many they were able to find that apparently were used in the final moments of the battle. And because the musket balls were used by the infantry, and because of the location of the projectiles, the historians believe these projectiles were linked to the Irish Brigade of France, which fought with the Jacobites during the battle's final moments. Get that. The Irish Brigade from France, who fought with the Scots and the Jacobites. The most interesting thing is the suggestion that the musket balls fired by the Jacobites and the government troops included pistol balls fired by the government dragoons, related to one of the last actions in the battle. As it was, the Jacobites retreated. A battalion of Irish troops in French service fighting with the Jacobites made a brave stand against hundreds of mounted men from the Cobham Dragoons. I used to live in Cobham, in Surrey, I swear to God. The Cobham Dragoons. And possibly Kingston's Horse were involved, advancing from the right in the Cumberland Guard. I got to do it again. The action helped thousands of Jacobites get away from the field, but it was only a brief intention in most history books because, again, this lasted 1 hour and it was over. Archaeologists would say this is the biggest discovery ever from the Culloden battlefield. This land is very boggy. I've been there. The projectile, of course, I've been there. I'm lucky to have traveled so extensively. The projectiles that they've seen have never been detected in past excavations. And these excavations, the archaeologists believe that the 19th century forest station may have created acid soils, while the tree clearances would have also caused these disturbances in the ground. So multiple factors made this particular area challenging to investigate in the past. And it also probably led to the problems in the actual battle. And to finish up here, the spokesperson added that they aim for one more major excavation at Culloden this year, next year. But the archaeologists are saying they'll be moving to another part of the battlefield and see what they can find, and that'll be that. And these are incredible discoveries, again, years later, for a battle that lasted maybe just under 1 hour. 50 Brits dead. 2,000 Jacobites dead. Can you imagine that? The slaughter, the blood. In less than an hour to take out that many. It's a drug brick Nate and Jimmy. Time for news on KMJ. With a news update is Liz.
KMJ News now.
Man is found guilty on multiple charges in Kern County. We get more from KMJ's Michael Reed.
Back in June, a CHP officer reported a stolen vehicle being driven by Julio Arroyo and attempted to perform a traffic stop. Arroyo sped away and led the officer on a high-speed chase. He traveled at excessive speeds into oncoming traffic, running multiple red lights, and nearly collided with several vehicles. The chase ended when Arroyo lost control of the stolen truck and crashed into 3 parked cars before rolling over. On December the 9th, the Kern County jury found Arroyo guilty of 2 counts of felony evasion of a police officer, felony driving a stolen motor vehicle, felony receiving stolen property, and misdemeanor resisting arrest. Sentencing is set for January of 2026. He faces up to 9 years and 4 months in prison. Michael Reed, KMJ News.
King Charles III says his cancer treatment will be reduced in the next year, announcing today he's using his personal story to encourage others to get an early screening. A piece of history up for sale, items from the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana more than 4 decades later.
Their wedding captivated the world in 1981. The auction some 44 years later.
Serveret til Princess Diana's og Prince Charles' wedding.
In Denmark missed the mark. Rabid fans of the royals had a chance to take home a bit of history from an auction house north of Copenhagen. But the cork did not pop on an exclusive magnum of Dom Perignon vintage 1961 since the bids were not high enough. The bottle of bubbly, one of just 12 made for the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, fizzled with potential buyers. It was expected to fetch up to $93,000. Little was revealed about the seller, the auction house only saying it's a Danish collector who previously purchased the bottle from a London wine merchant. CJ Papa, Fox News.
On Wall Street, the Dow lost 245 points. KMJ News Time 132, Valley weather right now. 44 degrees at Radio City, and we are seeing sunshine outside. It's a miracle. Today's high 49. Tonight we get down to 39. Saturday a high of 58. Mid-50s on Sunday as we cool off, then a slight warm up into the middle of next week. It's so nice to see sunshine again. But by next weekend, we could see some rain. I'm Liz Kern on KMJ at KMJNow.com or wherever you stream.
Hey, it's CG on my program this weekend. Steve Robertello, he's the Associate Commissioner of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. Matt Moscona, the award-winning host of After Further Review on ESPN Baton Rouge, and the entertainment critic of the Daily Beast, and the LA Press Club's Phil.
I am one of 4 applicants possibly selected for another job. I shall know next week about what happens. Hopefully it's a second interview and not just being cut off again.
matter that I find one. Can I be mayor now? I mean, this is the thing. There will be no buyer's remorse with this guy. Democrat voters were so broken by their hatred for Donald Trump and normal people, so brainwashed into believing that they're good people. You know, megatards a thing or two. Yeah, that's right. Showing us. Yeah. Don't we? Warner Brothers Discovery to compete with YouTube. But antitrust experts are saying, Media analysts from Nielsen on ranks as America's most watched TV distributor. But the attorneys say the Justice Department is unlikely to see Netflix and YouTube as interchangeable rivals, given their different content and audiences and business models. Netflix, quote, Netflix is trying to say it competes with YouTube because people only watch a certain amount of content a day. That's Abel Garcia, antitrust partner at Kesselman Brantley Stockinger. The argument ultimately fails, end quote. So Netflix spends billions of dollars on scripted original movies. Series like Stranger Things, K-pop Demon Hunters. It frequently dominates Nielsen's ranking of the most streamed original series, accounting for 8 of the top 10 originals in recent rankings. Subscribers, us, we pay $7.99 to $24.99 monthly, while ads remain a small but growing revenue stream, one that I hate on Netflix. YouTube, by contrast, thrives on user-generated content for the most part. Advertising built on music videos, how-to tutorials and influencers. It commands more viewing time than Netflix or traditional TV, powered by creators like Mr. Beast, with more than 450 million subscribers, top recording artists. A lot of, children's hits are born there. And the DOJ is not likely to view those
a little battle going on
as a substitute for Netflix shows and movies, and the experts say. So Netflix is going to have a difficult time of making arguments that YouTube is a substitutional sort of thing for their kind of content that's on HBO Max and Netflix. To use their terms, not mine. This is from a partner at another law firm.
And that is why I do not like that lane when it gets busy.
Companies often seek to defend their mergers by pointing out to competition from a broad universe of established emerging players, antitrust enforcers are finding ways, I guess is the best thing to say. So, I'm getting in too deep. To explain again. For example, the Federal Trade Commission convinced a court that Whole Foods Market acquisition of rival Wild Oats markets reduced competition amongst premium and natural organic supermarkets, despite Whole Foods' argument that it competes with conventional grocery chains. So the FTC also successfully challenged the merger between the U.S. handbag and accessories maker called Tapestry and rival Capri as decreasing competition in the accessible luxury market. The judge who blocked the Tapestry deal relied on documents showing that the companies themselves thought of accessible or affordable luxuries as a valid category, contradicting their argument at trial that affordable luxury was not a well-defined part of their industry. Because of recent reforms,
guess I can't turn here. Or can I?